Okay, welcome, Joe. Welcome, Natalie. I'm going to give it just a few minutes.
Rabbi,
Yeah, one moment.
I think the announcement was a little not clear.
What wasn't clear about the announcement?
First of all, it did not announce the time.
Okay, now you already had it in the previous emails. You're supposed to go back to your previous emails and check.
Maybe, I don't know. But today,
Oh, there we are. There we are. Okay. Now we're running everywhere. Now we can begin. And now I'm going to do a share screen and we shall begin. Share screen. Okay.
you know, today we might not get too many people.
It's New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is there to celebrate already? Everyone's supposed to be locked up in their house like good boys and girls.
Well, I know, but
If they're not locked up in the house, we're going to have tzaras.
no, it's possible that they
Having Zoom for ceremonies. Besides, it's nowhere near midnight now. What's the rush?
I know, but
Besides, what is there to celebrate anyways? Okay. Well, let's see. You know what? I have an idea then. I have a very good idea. Since present company, which is just the two of you, always have very interesting questions. Why don't we do an open forum? Why don't we discuss anything at all you're interested in? And we'll resume next week when everyone does it. In fact, I know, and I just wouldn't have scheduled a class, honestly.
Were you going to,
I was going to talk about dreams, but it's a shud. You know what I mean?
no, can you put up at least the beginning of this first page or whatever?
Yeah. Well, I was beginning by going through several episodes in Tanakh, starting with the ones that we're familiar with.
Oh, I see.
I was going to start with Yosef's dream, and then Pharaoh's dreams, and then I was going to look at the dream of the Midianites with Gideon.
Yeah.
I was going to look at that, and yeah, that's what I was going to do. And then I was going to go on to the way the Talmud looks at dreams, which is, quite interesting. Anyway, so that's what I was going to do. But I was thinking.
Oh, you mean, is that the subject of?
Yeah, the subject for the next few weeks is dreams in Judaism. There's a lot about dreams.
Oh,
And
I
a lot
thought it was,
in the Talmud, a lot in Kabbalah.
I thought it was halachic men.
No, that's Sunday morning, starting January 17th. Yossel, you don't read emails.
I probably don't. Not enough. Not enough.
Halachic Man is the reading group. That's a book that you read and we discuss.
Okay.
This is a more conventional class.
Yeah. I think the Talmud treats
Well, the problem
dreams.
The problem is that the Talmud has two very, very different approaches. In other words, the Talmud has the approach that we mentioned the other day, that dreams are nothing, they're meaningless, even if they look meaningful, they're still nothing, right? Then there's a whole body of literature in the Talmud that suggests that dreams teach us something, and they have a long list of ways of interpreting dreams, which is brought down in the Rabbi Yaakov Emden Siddur. He has a whole section on the interpretation of dreams in his Siddur. So actually, and then then even in the Zohar, there's the suggestion that dreams are often meaningless, but sometimes they're meaningful. So what I wanted to do in this class is to discuss the different approaches to dreams, and then discuss how one might take an approach that supports both positions. In other words, that most of the time dreams are meaningless, but there absolutely are meaningful and predictive dreams. And the means how you know that is a separate and different question. But I expected this class to take at least 2, if not 3 sessions. But if indeed tonight's a night that people just aren't showing up, I'm reluctant to give the whole thing over, in which case we'll just have to do it again. Oh, there's the Ketzelah. Okay. So we need to I
was just going to.
We actually have 4 attendees. You see Natalie's Ketzelah?
Yeah. Oh, that's the Ketzelah.
Yeah.
Hello, Joe. Where are you? We can't see you.
He's hiding.
You're hiding.
I'm hiding.
There he is. Yeah. So, anyways, so the issue is that anyways, if people Taka who normally would show up didn't show up, so we might as well.
We got enough. Natalie's is here.
Well,
I'm here, and you're here.
Well, we can start, I guess. So
I want to make a comment on my experience.
What's the noise there? Do you have the radio on, Yossel?
Oh, quiet here. But what I was going to say, that because I studied dreams in the Talmud once, and I was very surprised. So on 2 different occasions. One is...
So while you talk, I'm going to look for something. I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to show you something. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first comment I was going to make, kind of a side, is that in the Jewish Center Synagogue on 86th 6th Street.
Yep.
Between Amsterdam and the next street,
Yeah.
going east. J.J. Schechter was the rabbi.
Well, well, actually, it was yes, Schechter, yeah.
Schechter.
Schechter with a J.
Yes. Now.
He's actually my mentor. We have a mentorship program that Yeshiva University runs for RCA rabbis. It's a 2-year program, and I'm in that program with 10 other rabbis and him. He's actually, he's actually doing a mentorship program for us. He's a very interesting man.
Yeah. So he was the rabbi, and he had Talmud classes, and my daughter lived around a couple of blocks away. So I used to go there for the prayers and stayed for the Talmud class, and I was very impressed with him. He has a lot of knowledge.
Yes, he does.
He's a rabbi. He's a Harvard graduate. I don't know what the major is, maybe history. He was the editor of Mada or something.
Torah Mada, yes.
Torah Mada.
Yeah, you know what? I know him very well. He's a personal friend.
So anyway, on one of those occasions that I remember studying, we were studying about the dreams, and there were a few men around the table, and one of them was a psychiatrist. And I remember his comments, how impressed he was with how the Talmud dealt with dreams. My own, and then I studied on another occasion in the Talmud about dreams. And what I took away from it, that the Talmud took dreams very seriously. They took him very seriously because they knew it could do damage. And their advice basically was that we should not take dreams seriously. It's interesting to analyze if it might help, but don't take him as something that should affect your life at all. Dreams should not be a guide to your life. Oh, I dreamt a terrible thing. Today I'm not doing anything, or whatever. And then there were all kinds of side stories with famous rabbis, how seriously they took it. But there was one exception. And the exception was when they did take it seriously is when conversion was involved, conversion out of Judaism. In other words, if the dream was that somebody was converting out of Judaism, then it became serious. Then there was a minyan of 10 and all kind of, there was a whole process. So am I close to?
The answer is yes, that's an approach, but there are other approaches too.
Okay.
So actually, one of the approaches that takes dreams very seriously is in the very end of Tractate Brachot, okay? And it begins, I believe, 55b. Hold on, I'm looking for it right now. I mean, I was planning on getting it to a later, but since you raised the Talmud and dreams, and I have a lot to say on the topic also from the Kabbalah and later sources, so let's read this piece together.
Okay.
The study of dreams is something really old in history. The Greeks were fascinated by dreams because dreams are the expression of our unconsciousness, and we don't really know 100% how it works. So and that's why so when we dream, our unconsciousness comes out and brings many things.
Yes.
There is no time. It's timeless. So you can experience express something from your daily routine or something from your past, or everything, mix it, past, future, present. It doesn't matter, because for the unconsciousness there is no time. It's always present. Actually,
Right.
it's always
So that's
present.
only one approach. There's one approach which suggests that the dream is primarily what we speak, what we think at night.
Not exactly. It can be, but it can also be something else. Because, as I said, we don't know. Nobody can explain in all details how the unconsciousness work.
Right. So I'm just saying that from the Talmud.
Freud tried to do so, but he could only understand and study a part of it, not
Right.
everything.
Yeah, I'm just saying that this idea of the relation of that the dreams relate to the unconscious is an approach we see in the Talmud, but there are many.
But you mentioned something. You mentioned something just now, saying how dreams are how we're thinking at night.
No,
So
or
first
what
of
we
all,
thought about, or what we thought about during the day.
but no, but you use the word thinking. Who
Yeah,
said that we are thinking at night?
sometimes you are.
But what's the proof?
Not necessarily there is any.
Then it's
There's a tremendous debate.
There is
There's a
when they
tremendous
put all
debate
those
among scientists
electrodes.
as to the nature of
Yeah,
cognition when you sleep. Like a lot of times you're struggling with an idea and you fall asleep with it, you wake up in the morning and it's solved. You know that?
Yes.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, that happened to me recently.
Well, there you are.
Okay. And also the unconsciousness, there is no limit, there is no law or censorship.
All
You
true,
are
but those
completely
are
free.
Natalie, those are the raw facts about dreams that we know. The question is, do we sometimes see something deeper in a dream beyond the mere churning of the unconscious? So there are many, many approaches and many, many cultures, and frankly, in many, many sciences. And so what we can do here is, this was going to be a piece of the class.
Our feelings and fears,
All
they
possible.
come up.
What I'm saying is, at this point, what I'm saying is that they're all true, everything you just said. What's interesting is, let's see how the Talmud sees it and how we understand it. And remember, what you're going to see here is one approach in the Talmud. There are diametrically opposed approaches in the Talmud itself. But this sugya, this discussion, tends to follow a certain pattern.
Let's have it.
What you know, Natalie, and what Joe knows may feed into this. But let's see what it says. So now I'm going to share screen.
Okay.
And those who come next time, we'll give a condensation.
They can dream about it.
Okay. V'omar Rav Yehuda Omar Rav. This is the last chapter in Brachot. Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Rav, Shalosh atzrichim rachamim. 3 things you have to ask God for mercy. In other words, it's not automatic. Melech Tov, a good king. To have a good leader of your country, you have to pray for. Very often you get a bad one. Shana Tova, you need to pray for a good year, because years aren't always so good, like this year.
So we do it twice a year.
What?
We do it twice a year.
Right.
V'chalom tov. And tonight.
V'chalom tov, and you have to pray for a good dream. Melech tov, a good king. D'chsiv palge mayim leiv melech biyad Hashem. It says in Proverbs, the king's heart is in the hand of Hashem, as the water canals. He turns it as he wants. The way that we cause irrigation canals to be full or empty. So too, since God controls the king, in other words, there's no such thing as a good king, right? Because good people can be really bad rulers, right? Wilson was a nice guy. He was a lousy president. Carter, they tell me, is a nice guy. He's probably the worst president we ever had. So, so being nice. So in other words, a successful leader, king or president or whatever, it's in God's hands. A good year, as it says in Devarim, Tamid Eminei Hashem Elokecha, the eyes of God are on the land of Israel, Me'eshet Hashana v'ad Ha'achayit Shana, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. Chalom Tov, a good dream. T'chsiv v'tachlimeini v'techayeni. Literally, it says in Yeshayahu, you will strengthen me and make me live. But the word tachlimeinu, which means strength, can be read in midrashic fashion, in Agadic fashion, as chalom, to dream. So you made me dream and made me live. There are dreams that make you die. It's up to God whether you have a good dream, and then it's up to God if the good dream actually comes out, or God forbid the opposite.
What was the reason that they brought God into this discussion that's like saying that God makes you dream, God makes it come true, make whatever?
That is exactly.
Isn't it something related to the soul? Because it is said that when we dream, our soul is more vulnerable. So is it that reason why God is in this discussion?
That's a good question. In other words, rather than answer your question, let's see how the Talmud looks at it.
I remember the film The Book, and they also the book which was in black and white. Have you seen this film?
Yeah.
It's in Yiddish.
Yeah, that's the old classic.
Yeah.
I saw it. They actually